Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about pets. Like you know how when we were all like kids and stuff, we all wanted a dog or cat or something like that for like a pet, And like your parents would usually say something like, "Well, you gotta take care of it. It's difficult, yada yada." You know all that, that shit. Like, is it just me, or I don't know? It's just a question I have. Like, is it just me, or is it like the same as everyone else? The same? Is it the same for you guys too? That like once you grew up, like for me personally, right? Like once I grew up, I just found out how difficult taking care of another animal or life is, and I was like, yeah, never mind. I don't want animals in my house. Like personally, I wouldn't think of having a pet, but yeah, that's basically it. Like, if somebody has it, I don't really care particularly, but personally, I wouldn't want a pet in my house. Like, does everybody grow into that way of thinking too? Cause like that's what happened to me. Cause I don't know, like when I was growing up, I really wanted a dog, and my mom, she didn't get a dog, obviously, because I was a kid. And she didn't even get me one eventually. Like eventually, she got the dog when I was like 11 or 12 years old. She got one, and then I found out, you know, not that I found out, I already knew. Then I experienced how difficult having a pet was, and I didn't even have to take care of it, by the way, because like my mom was taking care of it. Like she got it in her house. I didn't live with my mom. That's a story for another time. But yeah, uh, eventually, I just got to experience how difficult it was to like actually own and take care of a pet, and I just didn't want one anymore. Like growing up, I just ended up not wanting one anymore. And by the time I turned like 13 or 14, something like that, I just didn't want to own a pet ever. So I kind of just grew out of wanting to keep animals in my house. And like I didn't want it because, animals, they just pee and shit everywhere. And then you gotta like clean it up, you gotta bathe it, and you gotta feed it, and like animal food is expensive as fuck, stuff like that. And eventually I just didn't want to have a pet anymore, and I think a few years ago, my family was like apparently a really big dog people, right? Like my mom got a dog, my aunt got a dog. Eventually, my uncle also had a dog. My aunt got rid of her dog. I don't know the reason. My uncle's dog died last year. I didn't even have a picture of the dog, so I kind of just drew it on Pixiv. And my mom's dog is the only one that's still alive. I still have pictures of those, as you can see. And like recently, she got a new one. She bought it from. Well, I think she saw the dog on Facebook, and then she went to buy it from like the shop, the owner, something like that. But the owner was like, they had this dog selling thing going on, and one of the dogs got like a skin disease or something, and he didn't tell my mom, and the dog was like I don't know what species it's called, but it's like a really one of those like furry dogs with like curly hair, right? They're really thick hair. And her hair was like covering her skin, right? So we couldn't see, she couldn't see that the dog actually got the skin disease. So my mom brought the dog back, her back, the dog's a girl. And then later she found out that the dog, she did have skin disease. So she was like, after she brought it back, she had to she had to pay for the dog too. So she brought it to the vet. She checked it out, to check it out, all that stuff. And like the dog, she had it to. I mean, it's like I'm not sure, but looking at the video that she sent me, it looks pretty bad. Like you guys can tell me. I'm not really sure about it. Like it looks pretty bad. I'm not really sure. And that got me like really thinking about pets. So that's mainly what made me want to make this video. So like first of all, let's talk about the freaking creepy weird shop owner, right? Like I can't believe the shop owner sold that dog to my mom without even telling her that the dog might have skin disease or something. And my mom, being like a kind-hearted person, was like, "Well, I already took the dog home. I'm not gonna give it back just because it has some sort of disease." Which I mean, good on her and all that. But personally, I would have gotten it back. I would have given it back. Not gonna lie, because like I was promised a dog that didn't have skin disease, and I got one with disease. So it's kind of like you lied to me. Like it's not cool. And later on, I actually want to add on to that story a little bit. So I ended with how my mom's taking care of it despite the skin disease, and like right now you can tell how little I personally care for pets and animals in my own home. Like I wouldn't want that. Like right now, I live alone, and I could never dream of or even think of like having an animal at home that I have to take care of. I I don't want to do it. I don't want to use my time. I personally don't find enjoyment out of taking care of a pet. So yeah. So what made me really hate getting a pet for myself? Right now I'm 22 years old, right? So like a couple years ago, I think it was like I was like 19 or 20. I don't remember. I think it was actually 20. Uh, I was working during the time, so I think it was 20. So my friends, on my birthday, they brought me to like a pet store and they bought me a fucking hamster. Now, personally have never taken care of a hamster before in my life. Like I didn't even want the hamster. I didn't even find that little fucker cute. Okay, maybe it was a little cute, but I didn't want it. Okay, like that's not the point. Like I didn't want the hamster. That's the fucking point. And I never taken care of it. And that my friend that bought me it, right? The friend that bought the hamster for me, he took care of a hamster before, so he probably thought it was easy or whatever. I don't know. Like I've never taken care of one, so I didn't want it. But he bought it for me. Like the hamster was a cheap hamster too. Like it was like 20. It was a 20 ringgit, something like that. Or maybe it was 12. I don't remember. It's very cheap. Okay. And then he got me a fucking hamster. That's all he got me, by the way. Like, he gave me that little fucker in a goddamn box. A cardboard box. Right? So, I had to use my own freaking money, to buy the hamster, like the shredded wood that, it uses to, like, bury its pee and shit. And, like, I had to even go buy a goddamn cage because it was living in a box, and I had to buy like the dust for it to like clean itself too. So I had to waste a lot of money on that little fuck. So that was when that experience was what got me really not into it, because that hamster lasted like 3 months. I didn't like it, but I didn't fucking kill it on purpose or anything. But I didn't want the hamster. I didn't like it. But eventually, the hamster only lasted like 3 months. Because okay, this is gonna make me sound like a horrible person. But I swear to God, what I did to it was a goddamn accident. Or I guess, in this case, what I didn't do for it was an accident. Was an accident. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. And it was an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. That's the thing, okay? And so what did I not do to it? So I was feeding it consistently. Like you don't really have to feed hamsters, right? You just like kind of buy a bag of treats and you can just throw the whole thing in there, and they'll kind of like self-sustain, right, and stuff like that. So you don't really have to feed it. So and they would like store it and stuff in their cheeks and stuff like that. That's what hamsters do. But the big thing with that dude, that fucking hamster specifically, like, you obviously have to give animals water. That's kind of important. And that hamster was fucking annoying as shit. Like, that hamster was notoriously stupid. It liked to always flip over its water supply. So I gave this hamster in like a small bowl that it can drink water out of, right? Without spilling the water, right? Like, just normal fucking water. And he would always climb on the bowl, knock it over, and then the water would just get absorbed by the saw, the fucking, not saw, the fucking wood chips thingy, right? So I would have to refill it every couple of days, right? And during that time, I was working, as I said, and on one of those weeks, it was a really busy week. I was like taking work home. I didn't have a work-life balance during that week. I was taking work home to do it, and after I finished my work, I would play Genshin because I didn't get time to play Genshin. I was playing Genshin during the time, and so I forgot to check on little dude. I don't know why I keep saying little dude. I should just call him by its name. The fucking hamster name. I named it Tofu. And I forgot to, like, check up on Tofu in a week. And I forgot that he would keep knocking over his water source. So I forgot to fucking check on him. And after 1 week that I forgot about him, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to check on Tofu. And yeah, I opened the thing. I went to check on him. He fucking died. Yeah, he died of thirst. Like, I didn't know when he died, but when I went to check, he was dead. And yeah, there was like a lot of fucking flies on his corpse. Like, his corpse wasn't rotting or anything yet, but there were a lot of flies on his corpse. He was really dead. Like, he died for quite a while. And yeah, I didn't do it on purpose, but and after that experience, I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna get another pet ever again, unless it's like a turtle or like a tortoise or something. Cause I don't like I already didn't want the hamster, so when I was like forced to take care of it, I was like, I didn't want it. So when it died, this is what I'm about to say. It's gonna sound like I'm a heartless piece of shit, but when it died, I was like, a certain weight got lifted off my chest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, well, at least I don't have to take care of it anymore. And then a different weight came on. It was like, well, I just killed something that I'm supposed to take care of. Like, it's a bit different. And that experience made me really not want to have any more pets. Like, it didn't take that long. Like, I already didn't want pets, but that's like what solidified me to not want to have any more pets. Like, I swear, if anybody in the future buys me a goddamn animal, I'm just gonna like give it away or something, because I do not want to take care of it. And yeah, that's basically why I don't want pets. Yeah. So yeah, I guess people just, yeah, I don't know. I just don't give people pets, bro. Like, what are we doing? Why are we buying pets as gifts? That's the shittiest gift ever. Okay, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm ending the video here. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about how much I didn't want pets in my home. Bye-bye. See you next time. Sayonara, amigo.